And once again, everybody, welcome back to yet another episode of Spectator Mode Podcast. I'm your completely frustrated host, Keith Mitchell, joined with my cohorts, my friends, sometimes my support group, Rob, Mace, Matthew, and this podcast is going to be a little interesting, also a little frustrating, a little bittersweet because of the recent events that have been taking place in North America, and not just recent events. This has been a buildup of racism, blatant racism, and the people in this country. I'm not going to just say the black people. The people in this country together are pissed off. They're frustrated. They're angry. They're mad, and rightfully so. So obviously, if you've been paying attention to the news, and if you haven't been paying attention to the news, somebody you're close to has been paying attention to the news, where we had another incident of police brutality, blatant racism, where a retarded cop, well, you know what, a coward with a badge, decided he was going to end somebody's life by putting his knee on their neck for 9 minutes, thinking that it would do nothing but just keep the person down. Let alone he was already in handcuffs, was put to the ground by 4 police officers. He decided he was going to put his knee into the gentleman's neck, while his other cowardly brothers in arms decided to do nothing about it. Needless to say, the gentleman died on the scene, and then the police tried to cover up by saying that he suffered an injury, but it was complications of other issues that led to his death after he was picked off the ground. The guy was picked off the ground. He was already dead. People were there. They recorded it. Multiple people recorded it from both angles, from the front, from the back, showing that what was happening to the man. And these fucking police officers didn't care one bit. And what should have happened is they reviewed the tape. They reviewed the footage. Everybody was saying, what the fuck's going on? Why are you letting these people do that? And they did nothing. And even though they eventually did arrest the officer,
4 days later.
4 days later, it took the media, it took the press, it took people protesting, it took the city, and I always say this name wrong, Minneapolis. I said
Minneapolis,
right, to be set on fire, for people to riot, for them to destroy the city, for the freaking police to say, you know what, we're gonna fire this guy.
You want to hear something interesting about that, Keith?
Go ahead.
The cop who actually got arrested for it, outside having gear with blah blah blah, he snitched on himself to get arrested. You know why? Because the people outside knew where he lived and waited for him to come out.
Okay, I'm gonna talk about that. So before we get to that. And yes, this is a gaming podcast, but we also are human beings. If you haven't noticed, there's a couple of people in this podcast we're a multiracial podcast. We all have friends that are different races. And you know what? If you don't like that, take a fucking hike. I don't care. This is the same officer who has multiple complaints throughout his career. He beat up one gentleman, shot him in the stomach. He roughed up another person throughout his years as a police officer, and they did nothing. They swept this all under the rug.
So keep getting work.
So all this shit that this guy had against him, all they had to do was take him off the streets. But they didn't do it. They swept every incident, every complaint under the rug. And now, hey, look, guys, he killed a man. I'm glad that he killed a man. You guys did a great job. Congratulations. But, so what's happening now is, again, the people are frustrated. The black people are frustrated. The white people are frustrated. Everybody who's against racism in this country is frustrated. And yes, Minneapolis is being burnt to the ground. They are rioting. They are looting. I will say this. I do not agree with the looting. I don't agree with it, especially because people are taking this, using this as a reason to act like idiots. They should be protesting in a civil manner. And I understand that they tried and the police weren't listening. It's perseverance. You got to keep doing it. You can't do what you're doing now. And
I'm going to disagree with you on that one, brother.
Well, wait. But you also have people looting black-owned businesses. So it kind of defeats the purpose.
Yeah, I know. It's a powder keg. This is my situation. There was no rule book of how to protest, but there's a rule book how to beat a cop. The problem in the situation is that they were planning to sweep this crap under the rug. Yeah. 4 days. It takes 4. You do what's happened, and the messed up part is each situation this cop was charged with doing bad things like shooting someone in the stomach, beating on an officer. They kept referring to him, it was an officer. Now he's an ex-officer. They decided now it's okay to fire him after he probably killed a man. Nah,
No,
It's
they
just
should have did
it's,
that shit from the get-go. From the
yeah,
get-go.
yeah.
This is why I
And
said he's not an officer. He was a coward behind a badge. And you know what's pissing me off more than anything else? The fact, even though this shit keeps happening in this country, is
I know
it wasn't just one officer. It was 4.
the whole
He was
squad. Yeah,
he was there. Fucking fire him and try him, arrest him, and his other cohorts that were there who did not
they
stop
sat
him.
there and did nothing.
They
It's
just
like
watched.
They
They
should
just
be arrested
watched.
as well.
yeah, they
Nothing
sat
happened to
there
them.
like sat there puff chest out. I'm like, what is this?
You took 4 days of people protesting and rioting and the media for you to actually grow some freaking balls and say, you know what, we fired this man. Great. What about the other
I
three?
mean, yeah, exactly. Like that's the thing too. It's like and it's like I don't care what I said. They blow up a police station. A part of my anarchy side is like, oh, that is beauty of art. Y'all blew up a police precinct. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
They're destroying that city, and
Yeah, it's being torched. New
No,
Earth,
It's
baby.
not just that city.
yeah, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
To that too.
This
It's
is
going everywhere.
One thing. You guys are calling for all 4 officers to be the other 3 officers that were just standing there doing nothing to be charged with what?
Assisted manslaughter, negligence.
Not upholding the law for one.
The term is negligence. Negligence and
Okay,
manslaughter.
so that means that every other person, those people holding the film and everything else, they have to be charged with negligence as well.
How about that? So the black guy, Ahmaud Arbery, who was jogging, who was chased by 2 guys with guns, who hunted him down and shot him. The guy who recorded it, he got arrested.
Basically. No, the thing. This is a situation, Carl.
A
citizen. No. Here's the thing. In America,
Let him finish. Let him finish.
all right.
Here's the thing. There is proportional response. I'm not defending what the main guy did. He was a coward with a badge. He's a fucking murderer. I hope he goes. I hope they get. I hope they
DP.
revive the death. I hope they revive the death penalty just for this bloke. Honestly, there is no excuse for murder. But the thing is, you got to realize that when it comes to proportional response, there needs to be a line drawn, and that's the thing that I keep seeing in America is you guys have no idea where proportional response should be stopped.
Well,
Okay.
that's true.
Like,
I will give you that.
as you said there, Keith, man, they are burning down black businesses. They are burning down, people that employ black staff. Those companies, they're innocent in this. Those people that I've seen innocent people, reporters, other protesters,
definitely, yes.
even cops, everybody on all sides, beat down, shot at. Fucking, they try to set people on friggin' fire. They've destroyed buildings. Where is the line that you stop?
And I
Or
agree
else
with you.
all you're doing is perpetuating violence and turning it into a circle.
I agree 100%.
And 90% of the reason why you currently have 9 states in your area, in your country right now, under friggin' lockdown laws, like not just coronavirus style lockdown.
Yeah.
You literally have curfews on the streets with militarized police on the street, having to take aim at innocent people, is because people don't seem to realize that every time that you destroy something, every time you loot, you riot, you get revenge for one life, you've destroyed hundreds of others.
Now, I agree with you, but I don't agree with everything. Again, the rioting, the protesting, the loot, the protesting done in a peaceful manner. I agree.
I
with that.
disagree with that.
But wait,
Protesting done in a peaceful
we-
manner is a decent idea.
I mean, we're
Yeah.
at Martin Luther King versus Malcolm X. One says do it peaceful, the other one says, you know what, take it to the man.
No, I
There's
disagree
two
with that
sides.
because Keith, you're as old as I am. We've done everything right. We've done protests. We've done going on TV. We've done articles. We've done exposés. We've made TV documentaries. They found ways to ignore us. You're not going to ignore me destroying your life now.
And
destroy everything I can.
And that's where I'm trying to get to. There is no right side to this. If you ignore somebody, I'll use a child as an example. If a child is screaming and screaming and screaming and screaming, and you ignore that child is going to keep getting louder and louder and louder.
Exactly.
So you cannot ignore that child anymore. That's what's happening here. I don't agree with the burning down the buildings. I don't agree with it involving innocent people. But at the same time, as you mentioned, Carl, with the officers being involved. I wasn't ex-military police, okay? I understand how some of this law works. If I have somebody on my team who is not doing their job, it is my job to step in and say, stop. You're doing the wrong thing. Mm-hmm. They did not. They looked at him, they turned around, and they ignored it. They allowed it to go on.
See, yeah.
They did not do their job. And what makes it worse? Okay, fine. They didn't do it. They handled that internally. Okay, fine. It took them 4 days to even fire this guy. This is why this country is going crazy right now. And it's not just because of George Floyd. It's because of Breonna Taylor, the EMT who was in her home sleeping. Plainclothes cops, police officers, broke into their house, and the boyfriend shot at them. If you're breaking into my house, you don't acknowledge who you are, you don't knock, I'm shooting at you too. They killed her. He got arrested right then and there. Why didn't the police officer get arrested right then and there? He was in every right to defend his home. We got I forget the other lady who was at home playing games with her nephew because her door is ajar. The cops came to the house. They didn't announce themselves. They walked around her house. They saw her. And they said she was reaching for a weapon because somebody was walking around her house looking into her house. And they shot her.
Yeah. So, you remember that Dave Chappelle joke? You've seen him do stand-up saying, oh man, look at this black man in his house. He has a nice list of cocaine on it, That black man can't be living here.
We had an issue not too long ago where the female officer was drunk and went into the black guy's house, his apartment.
Her ex-boyfriend and murdered him. Yeah, I know. That was in Dallas, Texas. Good shit.
His own home. He wasn't doing anything.
I know. Good. It was good stuff. Good.
We had Phil Andro, his last name, Castell. I'm pushing his name.
Castell.
Got pulled over in the car with his girlfriend. The cop asked him a question. The gentleman said, "I have a firearm in my car. I am not reaching for it." Cop said, "Don't reach for it." The other cop said, "Don't reach for it." He said, "I'm not reaching for it." Next thing you know,
he was speaking as calmly as possible. Yeah, calm.
Didn't do anything.
Yep.
Shot him. We can't walk down the street without being harassed anymore. Trust me, Carl.
Don't throw it back on me saying like
I'm just telling you, this is what's happening. They're getting
just because I have fucking white skin doesn't mean I don't understand what's going on.
I'm glad.
Don't you dare throw that fucking card at me.
And I appreciate that.
You dare throw that card at me.
And I appreciate that.
Last night, and I got fucking. I tell you what, I got aggro.
And you should be. And you know what? You should be.
This is the thing. I am currently studying a certificate in community service, meaning I have to retrain my brain to be thinking on a neutral context on all of this. I have to take my personal feelings and my personal opinions out of these matters, because in my line of work, I have to deal with black people, white people, Asian people. It doesn't matter what your skin color is. Doesn't matter what your race is.
Everybody.
I work with people. And I get them at their lowest point. That's where I stand ready to help people.
And that's good for you. And I'm not blaming you, and you should know that, ass. You know that. Yeah. But this is what's happening.
But at the same time, the way you're saying it makes it sound like it's justifiable to destroy other people's lives.
I literally said it's
else.
not.
I mean,
I literally said it's not.
Like again, it comes proportional response. How many lives are allowed to be ruined because of a single person's death? What value are people currently placing on a life of a person? It seems a black man got killed. Let's riot. Yeah, let's go and destroy hundreds of fucking lives.
You can't overboard a situation that's already started. That's like saying, did the chicken come before the egg? Well, if the guy didn't get murdered, should we have done this? No, we could have protested normally. But
the thing is, they didn't even try to protest normally. They went straight to rioting.
That's not true.
That's the point we're making.
No, wait, that's not what they did. They did peacefully protest, and the police started getting on them. They definitely did. And when the police started ignoring them, they started getting louder. And when the police started pushing back, they started pushing back.
It's not the police's job to change the way a protest is done.
It's not. It's their job to enforce it.
This is also considered unlawful assembly if you do not get this thing. To give you an example of the way these type of protests are done here in Australia. I'm not saying that we're a perfect country. We're not. We have thousands of Aboriginal people. We'll call them fucking straight up black people here in our homeland as well. They are the native people of our land. Originally Australia was full of black people. There you go. You know,
Yeah.
and then the white people came and usurped 90% of it. You know, and we have hundreds of them dying in police custody every year. You know, so we have these problems as well. But the thing is, when you protest, you meant to get it organized with your local city, so that they can. And usually, the police presence is there to protect you. When you just rock up in hundreds of people wearing fucking face masks, ready to start throwing shit, that's unlawful assembly. No wonder the police get their hackles up, because all of a sudden they're told, hey, you've got to come down and stop these people who are getting ready to become violent.
Yet, I'm going to stop you there. I disagree with you 100%. We're in our rights to do that. And at the same time, when you have a bunch of Nazis, whatever the fuck they are, that can do that, dressed in full armor and weapons, and not get one response from a police officer, that is complete and utter bullshit.
Basically,
and they covered that. They covered.
Oh, by the way, no, Keith. Even more recent. Recently, and I believe in Michigan, good old Michigan. The people were protesting against COVID-19, not wearing masks, and the police officer didn't touch them whatsoever. But us brown folk people, we're the most dangerous people there is. Any situation, we're together. All my thing about this is that there are no rules against proper protesting or illegal protesting, but there are rules to be a good cop. There are training manuals, there are schools, there are classes, and you failed all of those many times. How is it my fault now?
Wait. Let's bring it down. At the end of the conversation is basically this: the people are upset. They're sadly upset because this keeps happening.
Yes.
And what are we supposed to do when they do every peaceful thing?
What are you supposed to do? Do what that fucking video you posted about an hour before this show does. If you what was his name? Well, they put his name up as Killer Mike, and I don't doubt that's actually his legal name.
That's not his legal name.
No, it's
Mike. What he's saying is what I said.
Him saying, you know, if you want to take down these systems and that and everything else, if there's a prosecutor in your state that you don't like that's in a position of power, vote him out.
That doesn't work in some states. I disagree with that.
If there's somebody in a place of power that you can vote out, vote them out.
I agree with that.
No, that doesn't work. You know why?
Go ahead,
it doesn't work. Well,
no. Let me finish. It doesn't work for two reasons. One, prosecutors in certain states are chosen by the attorney general, process taken away from the people. Here's number two. It doesn't work because what about the justice now? I've been wronged now. You haven't solved it until 4 days later. That's the problem. The problem is you're not solving it now. You've done wrong now, not try 4 days to hide behind.
How are you supposed to solve it now?
You can't.
Fire him. You put him in jail.
But wait,
you fire him, put him in jail.
Okay, so everybody you agree with now has to go to jail.
No, guys.
That's the presidency you're starting to set, Matt.
No, but
that's worked in Haiti. So
what he's saying is,
then go fucking live there.
The people want a response right then and there for the act to be committed. Okay, the problem is it keeps happening. You say do it peacefully, and they do it. You say vote people out. Well, one, we have to wait for the vote to even happen, and two, if there are more people who are for this kind of act than the people against the act, there's no way to vote them out. That's not how it works in this country. That's why we have Trump right now.
Exactly. Like I said, and then number three, in this country,
you have Trump right now because 90% of you dumb fucks over there, and I'm going to call you exactly what you are. You're all the dumb fucks.
We are.
They don't believe that your vote doesn't fucking count when you almost had him out of office.
Well, we almost have him in office for the impeachment, but because the way he circumvented the law, he's still there.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you put a businessman in charge. But
basically,
that's another completely different matter.
But
you keep saying your vote doesn't matter. Your vote doesn't matter. So I'm not going to bother voting.
Well,
do you know how many votes could be changed?
No, I get that.
If you guys actually believed in yourselves and actually believed in your voting rights?
Yes. But you know what? That's not going to fix the system. Wait, come on. This has been a system.
You don't fix the system by yelling at it from the outside. You get people inside into the system that can help you make that change. You start getting those people in by voting those people in.
But it's got to be a process that keeps going. The second you lose a person in there, or the second that person is out of the system, it goes back. Carl, I'm not saying that you're wrong or that this is wrong. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is observing how everything has been happening. That's why everybody's upset. And this issue that just happened would have been resolved from the get-go. When they saw the video, they went, okay, you know what? That was wrong. Either you're on administrative leave or you're fired. They didn't do anything. They waited.
No, and I agree with that. 4 days was 4 days too long. And 4 minutes is 4 minutes too long.
And the only reason that happened within 4 days is because the protesting and the rioting. And then they went and said, you know what, we're going to give him manslaughter, which is the weakest of all the offensive.
Exactly.
Only, and this is why I said when I was talking to people about this, the only reason they gave that to him is because people knew where the hell he was, and they wanted to get him out of harm's way.
Yes.
There was at least nearly 100 people standing outside his home. I've seen the videos.
Good stuff. That's good stuff. Just no one else is going to do something about it. And that's the problem. When the system has failed people, anger is the only logical answer we have
I don't agree with that. No. Yes, I have frustration, but I don't agree that we should take it into our own hands. I don't agree with that.
Here's the problem.
Vigilante justice is not justice.
It's better than when you get nothing. When you get nothing, you make something out of it.
But right there,
that's
Matt,
what it's like being black.
Look at me, but you're talking about frustration. And I've learned over the years that the frustration does not help because it perpetuates the issue further. We're seeing it right now in all these cities. We got it in Philly. We got it in New York. We've got it going in Dallas. We've got police shooting at reporters. We've got police pushing people down who are peacefully protesting because this is giving them a reason to keep the people in line. There are people that are frustrated. There are police officers that are like, you know what? This is what I needed to beat your ass. There are some police officers going, you know what? This is the wrong way to go. We should not be doing it. Like, I was another video I tweeted.
And that's the other thing too. You gotta remember these police officers. They're human. They may be standing there, blocking your path or whatever, but remember they are still human. They might not even agree with what they are doing, but they are doing it because they are told to.
And there are a lot of police officers that we've seen that don't agree with this.
No, exactly. Like I said, it's an Ouroboros. Because it's happened, it just circles itself over and over. And it's
the problem with that is, and I'm guilty of it too, is you are a police officer, you committed the crime. Yes. By association, all you officers are bad.
ACAB, and people still shouting ACAB, you know?
At the end of the day, and I don't want to harp on this forever, because we'll be all talking about we're all upset about this. It comes down to the state of America. That how it's been for years, decades, and it has not changed. And we've got a president who throws ammo into this shit. He's speaking on Twitter. He's saying things he should not be saying as the leader of these people. And all he's doing is inciting this to go more.
Yep.
And it's not helping. Yes, he needs to go. But we need to have level heads. We need to have people to understand. Killer Mike was 100% on point. 100%. He is right. But the problem is when you're upset, when you're frustrated, when you want action taken care of now and it's not happening, you get mad. Should we be burning down buildings and hurting people that weren't involved?
Probably not.
No, we shouldn't be doing that. No. Peaceful protests? Kaepernick.
Yeah, but look how they turned that into an argument situation. So
look at that.
Exactly.
There's always going to be an argument when protesting is involved.
Yeah,
there's always going to be one side or the other. This is the way that the world works. And you're not going to have 100% of the people agreeing with 100% of what's being said,
done,
or anything else.
And I think everybody's fine with that.
That's fine. That's great. That's how you get
what's
discussion.
happening is the problem is, and we're going to get off this topic, but I do appreciate everybody's word on this.
There's no excuse for murder. There is no excuse for rioting. There is no excuse to hurt innocent people, period.
And racism needs to fucking go. It just needs to go. We're all people. We all bleed the same. We all cry. We all get happy. We all go through the same crap. This is centuries old, and you would think by now that we're running low, but the second you think that it's gone, it's swept under the rug, it comes right back, and it's like, God damn it, just stop.
No, No, the thing is, like in America, it gets swept under. And it happens because there's never really a solution. We just give up over it. It's like the best way to describe it. I was talking to my old man about it. It's like Rodney King all over again. This is the same exact thing, the same exact setup, the same. Like how many times do you see the same exact story happen over and over and over as a black man growing up in this country? It just pisses me off, and that's the thing I'm upset about. It's like how many times am I gonna see another brother get killed just because? Oh, look at that. We're all angry again. We're just going to swallow the blood. See you in 20 years.
I'll end it with this. You know, it's not just the black lives. It's just right now, it's the black lives that are being more impacted.
If
everybody should be treated the same.
I just want to say one thing, because I feel like it's not my place to speak on this, in all fairness. I can be an ally as much as I can, but at the end of the day, it's not happening directly to me.
No, it doesn't.
And I can try. I can still try.
You live in this country.
I do, and I understand that, and I can try my best to empathize with the feeling that other people are having right now, especially black people. And I personally will never feel that problem, and that's just the way that I was born. That's just who I am, and that sucks. To me, I'm along the lines of it gets to the point where how many times and how long is it going to go on where this just becomes a status quo? Just keeps happening over and over again. I want to say that I think everyone here and everyone in the world would agree that they don't agree with, looting and destroying things for the sake of getting a message out. Nobody wants to do that.
No.
But the thing is that it gets to the point where you do your peaceful protests and people just still will do this stuff. Like, they will listen to you and they'll understand, but people will still do these things. People who are evil, people who want to treat people less than themselves, think that they're inferior, think that they're not worth living. Like, people who want to just treat other people like this, it's just going to keep happening. And people have tried numerous times to do the right thing, to collect themselves together as one and speak out over things that are wrong, prejudice, violence. People have tried numerous times, and the reason why looting and destruction and vandalism and all this stuff is happening across the country, not just in Minneapolis, is because this frustration is there, and it's been there, and it's coming to a peak at this point because it just keeps happening. And we keep trying over and over again to tell people, like, hey, like, this is wrong. We're collectively here telling you this is wrong. We're protesting. We're collecting. And it just keeps going on unheard ears. And that's a problem on the local level. That's not a problem on the federal level. That it's a problem across all versions of government in the United States. And it just, it gets to the point where people are frustrated in doing these violent acts and things like that and causing scenes all over the country because all of these complaints, these protests, these messages of love and understanding and empathy are just going on deaf ears to the people who are supposed to be fixing this. Yeah. And we try to vote these people in and all this stuff. And it does. We have made a lot of progress in the last few years, but at the same time, we've regressed in a lot of ways too. It's gotten to the point now where so many people are just are so pent up with these frustrations, understandably, and nobody wants to resort to this kind of stuff, but they aren't heard anymore, and their message is not coming across to the people who can make these changes, and that's why all this stuff is happening. I don't want to agree with it. Nobody else wants to agree with it either. I don't think anyone wants to result to violence or destruction or anything like that. But it gets to the point where nobody's listening. And
exactly. And that's where the rage comes from. And imagine growing up seeing the same story over and over, a different name, different person. A part of you just keeps on dying because as a black person, I'm going to, like, one day, Cassie and I may get married. I'm going to have a child, a son or daughter, and I have to give the same speech my father gave me, his grandfather gave me, his great-grandfather. When is it going to stop at this point? That's my rage because I see the future. It's like it's going to happen again.
Matt, that talk that you're talking about is the same talk that my father gave me, and I'm pretty sure his father gave him, and the same talk that I gave my daughter, and it'll be the same talk that I give my son.
Yeah, and that's a scary reality to live in, and that's why I'm so upset being an African American brother. But Gamers Nerd United, I agree with that. And that's exactly like you'll be like, exactly like, yo, do you love feeding your family? Do you hate whatever? It's like don't stop doing it. It just makes me upset because I can't. I'm sorry, that's not my piece. But
I said we were going to talk about this, and we've got it. And I appreciate what you're saying. I appreciate what Rob is saying, and I appreciate what Carl's saying. We're all frustrated. We're all frustrated, and it keeps happening. But I'm glad we're able to get out of our system. I'm glad we were able to talk about it. Let's go do something that we like doing. Let's talk about games because I hate talking about politics and I hate talking about this. I do.
God, yeah. I know. Yeah, I know. Oh man, Woo, so many games.
And I thought it couldn't get any worse than our rant last week about friggin' video game fans.
Stan!
You know
Yeah.
what? We
have found a way to make those Sony versus Xbox.
We
pause into something that doesn't
we are
mean
human.
jack shit.
We are human, and
Yeah.
we care about our fellow human. I care about my black. I care about my white friends. I care about my Asian friends. I care about everybody because I don't hate. Well, there are a couple of people I do hate. I don't hate people. I hate how people act. I hate how people treat each other. At the end of the day, I don't see your color. I don't freaking care your color. It doesn't matter.
Just don't be a douche.
Exactly, and that's what I said about with me doing my community service sort of degree, is that I now don't see things in the terms of black versus white. I don't see right versus wrong, justice versus injustice. I just see hurt people. And that's what shits me up the wall is when I get downplayed and pushed down by people sitting on their high horses, saying that I should be prioritizing one cause over another. That's not what I've been taught. That is not what I now believe. I believe that if you are having issues, that if you are having troubles, doesn't matter what they are, social, financial, depression, whatever, I am the type of person who's going to be down on that front line with you. And that's where I see myself nowadays, and I wish more people would actually see things in that perspective, because when you get down to that perspective, you see that every side is wrong.
So, on that note, everybody who's watching this show, everybody who could be lurking or not, and I do appreciate you being here, Gamer Nerds Geeks United. Appreciate that. If you have a platform to speak on about this, don't be afraid to talk about this. You have to. It is your right and it is your duty to talk about this crap. If you're frustrated, if you're angry, even if you're not involved, if you live in this country, it involves you. And just they're talking about,
even if you're not an American, it's obvious I am not American, but I will still speak on these issues.
You swear enough to be an American.
You swear enough, yeah.
No,
you're up there.
I'm Australian. The swearing is a second language here.
But I'm not gonna imagine now in the English test.
Again, I'm not afraid to speak up and speak out, because these things aren't just an American problem. They are a worldwide problem. Racism is a worldwide problem, and if you're not speaking out about it,
you're doing something wrong.
Then the silent voice is a voice that is wasted.
And that's interesting that
but
you say
at the same time, remember, be careful of what you say and how you say it.
Yes.
Don't go out there spreading misinformation. Don't take Joe Blow 345 on Twitter who's saying that this is all a setup, a conspiracy or something.
Oh yeah, Johnny Donuts, yeah.
Yeah, you Johnny Donuts that are saying, I've spotted an undercover cop in the crowd inciting shit. When that would always, and this is something coming from all of us, that we've been doing this journalism shit for years. Fact check and check your sources.
It's
because that's the other thing. There are so many people I've seen sharing around bits and pieces that they've seen off, Facebook pages or something, saying that this guy incited this event, but when you actually look at the footage, you can't see the guy's face, but all they want to do is they want to incite something to make it worse. Try to make things better, not worse, please.
All right. So yeah, as I said, as the title of the show is,
and video games.
Yeah, let's talk about some game, guys. So
let's talk about video games.
Please.
Oh yeah, let's talk about
racism in video games. Let's go.
Okay.
No.
Literally
oh God,
now.
we're not on friend frequency. Those days are over, right? Oh jeez. Oh God.
Let's talk Barrett in Final Fantasy VII. Let's go.
That is my role model, and I love him. Okay. No, but
I reckon he was toned down though. He's He didn't swear as much. I was very disappointed in that.
He was still awesome. But no, let's talk about the PlayStation 5 reveal. So
yes.
after
the reveal announcement.
It's over.
the announcement of
Reveal of a reveal coming soon to reveal.
Yes.
So after months of people asking Sony to finally show the PlayStation 5, to show us something, to show us first-party games, whatever, after Microsoft has been going, hey, we got this, hey, we got that, hey, we got this, I think Microsoft gave them the opening, and in my mind, I'm like, so this is the new E3 where Microsoft didn't go first, Sony went first. So, yes, we did see the Xbox Series X, but we didn't see it running first-party games. So they said, hey, we're going to show you this stuff in July. And as soon as they did that, you could hear Sony going, July. There's a month before July, and it's June. Let's do our stuff in June. So on June 4th, we have a PlayStation 5 reveal where they're going to show off an hour and a half of first-party games for the PlayStation 5. This is going to be very interesting because we don't know what first-party games Sony's been working on.
They've been extra quiet.
I'm gonna break it up.
No, say.
No,
Sorry, Matt. Before you we got to get the obvious joke out of the way. We all know that this is just that HDMI cable reveal.
Yeah, exactly.
It is not going to be the freaking cable. It's going to be the power supply.
Look, all I'm going to say is this is a very real possibility. They just straight up don't show the console again. They'll probably wait till July 2, where they'll have another one.
That's the team.
I don't know. They could.
Hang on.
They could show it. They could show a corner. They can show a corner.
Gamers,
of the
Nerds,
console.
Geeks Unite. Thank you for that. Thank you for the $3. We appreciate that.
We appreciate the sport.
We're going to see the cable, but Rob makes a valid point, and this is what I wanted to talk about. What are we going to see? What do we want to see? And what is the actual realization that we're going to see from them?
Obviously, HDMI cable. That's going to be the sexiest HDMI cable.
We got to get one of those dark corners of the console, baby.
Yo, dark one. No,
maybe get
we're going to
the glint of the metal inside the USB port. That's what
what we're gonna see is the fan behind. I think at the console, and the guy just like maybe tomorrow.
So this part of the segment is gonna be about the console.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Rob.
The funniest thing to me is that even the teaser image that we got on their social media was the controller. It wasn't even like an edge of the
okay, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that because I've been going back and forth. I've been going back and forth off that teaser, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, we're gonna get a black PlayStation or a black DualSense controller." And I'm going back and forth. I'm like, "There's a section where it's all white, guys. That could be just the shadowing.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a black controller. I just think that's just shadowing, guys. Sorry, but." Again, we talked about it last week. We'll talk about it this week. So there was a rumor that Sony had to redesign the PlayStation 5 because of cooling issues. And that's why we have not seen the console. I hope that was a rumor. I really hope that wasn't true because I really...
Even if it is true, good on them because they're trying to address issues before they actually become prevalent and destroy consoles.
I will say that is good, but also I feel that it is bad because the reason why I'm saying is they're saying that this is blowing everything out of the water. So why not get it right the first time versus, you know what?
Exactly.
Shoot.
Take some extra time. Redesign several times if you need to.
No, they're going to blow everyone out the water by showing the box that the console's going to be in. Just a normal cardboard Amazon box. Like, this is the PlayStation 5. Like, what's inside? Who knows?
So what is it? There's going to be a white box with the PS5 logo on it now?
Yeah, exactly. And people are like,
the logo reveal.
You know what? If it cools the system,
pre-order now.
You know what? If it has better heat distribution, I can't talk as well right now, and it keeps the stuff cool better than this PlayStation 4 Pro, then I'm all for it. Let it be a plain white box. I don't care as long as it doesn't sound like when I'm trying to play a damn game. I could care less.
It's so crazy to me because, like, my personal experience, I've never had that happen. I've played God of War. Yeah. I've played Red Dead Redemption 2. I've played Persona 5, but that's a PS3 game. So, I've never had that problem. It's so weird.
Spider-Man makes my PlayStation 4 Pro. Both of them sound like jet engines. Mortal Kombat 11, when you leave it there, it makes it sound loud as fuck.
I disagree with that.
I think yours might need a bit of a clean then, Keith.
Yeah,
you know me. I keep my stuff clean. You know who I am.
I will say, though, when I first played God of War, I played it on an original PS4, like the one with the light on top. man, that sounded like a jet engine. Whenever I turned that on, it had struggled to keep at 30. Like
I have that model. I have the first release model, and it has never once sounded like a jet engine.
Really?
Never. Even playing God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn,
Okay, let me back
Spider-Man.
up. When I say jet engine, louder than my Xbox. How about that? It's louder than my Xbox.
So even then, well, then again, I've got the One S, so it doesn't really sound.
Yeah,
like
I'm looking I'm playing like I take my PS4 to like tournaments with it. I'm posting like 20 games. No, I never heard my PS4
I will
home
ask
before.
though, do you regularly clean the console?
Yeah, and like I clean. Well, yeah, I'm like once
does.
per week.
Keith does. Yeah.
I keep all my shit clean. The next thing I'm going to do for these next consoles, because the way my setup is, I have an IKEA book stand, but I have it on the side and I have the backs out so the consoles can breathe. So I have plenty of airflow for all these consoles on my PC. My PC doesn't get as loud as my PlayStation.
Yeah, but how much do you like dust and clean around those areas though?
Did we not just talk about this last week?
And not only that,
I'm just saying, Keith, I think that your PS4 may not be an actual pro. You may have gotten cheated by some random street vendor.
Shut the hell up.
Oh, so he bought his PS4 Pro off Wish, did he? And
I got off.
Exactly.
That's my problem.
He bought it. Yeah, he bought it for some fighting game, dude. That's
when I was younger,
$20.
My first Xbox, like when I was really young, I was like not even in high school yet. I was in 6th grade when I had my 360 for the first time. And back in those days, me and my friends used to do the classic, the fun prank of calling Xbox support and telling them that, like, one of my stories was I bought my Xbox off of a street vendor and told me it was dirty, I should clean it. So I called Xbox support and told them I gave it a bath because it was dirty. Because I bought it from my
God.
And power to them, because they were very patient with antics, and it was so funny.
Rob,
just
not
how
to cut you
fucking
off. You know,
nice
there's a
they
YouTube
were.
series back in the day. Like, I was some prankers that actually recorded themselves pranking Xbox support. That was godlike.
Yeah,
when I was in high school.
that's what inspired it. That's exactly what inspired it. I will bring it back to the topic though.
Yeah. Let's talk about it because gamers in here, Gamer Nerds Geeks United was talking about. He or she thinks that there may be at least 2 new IPs, which would be interesting. I would like to think we're going to see some new IPs. I don't think we'll see them as launch titles. I definitely think we're going to get something that has been in the past or maybe a continuation. Case in point, Blue Point has been teasing us for months. I think even an entire year that they're working on something.
Okay,
and everybody thinks Demon Souls.
Legend Dragoon.
Quick question: Is it all first party releases that they're saying that they're going to be showing off? So it's first party.
All first party.
Horizon Zero Dawn 2.
Most likely, yeah.
It has to. We've heard too many rumors that not only is there another a sequel coming, but that they're actually putting out a trilogy of Horizon games that was recently approved by Sony like months back. Like, it has to be. We've heard too much about it, and I think to me,
do we hold our breath for God of War 6, where Kratos goes and fucks up the Japanese gods for no reason?
No,
maybe. He has to kill the Norse gods first, then he goes to Japan.
I like the idea.
I don't think we're going to see a God of War anytime soon.
Yeah, I like the idea of hearing about God of War, but I think it's too far away at this point.
I mean, what if they make Tenchu? I mean, Tenchu is like old. That would be a very nice revive.
We already got attention. It was called Sekiro.
Oh, sure. Okay.
All right.
Remember the first party.
See now I actually go and look up what are Sony first party titles because
did they confirm Horizon sequel yet? They didn't confirm it, but the voice actor did say they're working on it.
Yeah. And I mean, there have been numerous rumors from a bunch of different outlets saying that there is a trilogy that it is, because what they had said was the creative director had the idea.
Come on Wikipedia, let's have a look.
But the director said that when they had come up with the idea of Horizon Zero Dawn, they were planning on setting it up as a trilogy anyway, and that the first game was planned and developed as to become a franchise essentially. So
Yeah.
regardless of whether the first game had succeeded or failed, it succeeded. So thankfully we don't have to worry about that. But it's going to turn into a trilogy now because that's what they had initially planned for. And from every other rumor we've heard, Sony has approved a trilogy with them to continue working on a sequel and another game in the future. And so I 100% would expect it. I mean,
Lawbreakers too. Yeah, okay.
No.
Lawbreakers
I was going to go for the long. I was going to go for the long shot on
Ridge Racer, yes.
No, not
Ridge
Ridge Racer.
Racer, that actually would be a good idea. Actually,
Give me my Ridge Racer.
Okay, my duo was Cool Borders and Destruction Derby.
Nobody remembers Cool Borders and Destruction.
Wait,
Derby. They killed that company. Remember?
Cool Borders. You got the revival of Tony Hawk, so why not bring back one of the best fucking snowboarding games?
Well, they killed the company. So we're not.
Wait, what about Gran Torino? Did we get a Gran Torino?
Gran Torino.
Gran Turismo.
Gran Turismo.
Oh man, I'm thinking of the
old guy with the nice car.
You're thinking of the Clint Eastwood movie?
Yeah, I'm thinking of Clint Eastwood movie. Good movie.
We will definitely get a new Gran Turismo.
I think I think there's going to be a solid amount of games that come from the franchise we know and love from PlayStation. Gran Turismo being one of them for sure. It's like Forza. Like Forza would come out with an Xbox.
Yeah, exactly.
But I would say this. If we are getting a new Gran Turismo, it won't be anytime soon. It won't be at launch. You know how these games are. They take forever.
This isn't the PS2 era where they actually launched with something decent.
Wait. Sunset Overdrive would be great. GNGU.
I don't think they're gonna.
Yeah, they would have to relaunch the first game first for people to know.
They already said.
Bring back Battle Arena to Shiden and Bloody Raw.
God, no.
No, Battle Arena to Shiden. Yes.
Wait. Sunset Overdrive 2 would be nice, like you said, but they already said there's no plans for that series.
Sunset Overdrive was Xbox anyway.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Right, so. but Insomniac owned the IP, and Sony owns Insomniac now.
So yeah.
See the one I'd love to.
Well, the IP is still not owned by Sony though. I think they can still.
No, it's owned by Insomniac, and now Sony owns it. Yeah, Microsoft didn't buy it. They gave them complete control over it.
The one that I'd like to see return to grace at least, even though it would require Square Enix to help revive it. Bushido Blade.
Bushido Blade, yeah.
Give up on that.
Oh, they do. Okay.
I know.
There's a lot of Square Enix titles.
I don't think we're ever going to see a fighting game as a launch title, guys.
No, not anymore. No, it's too niche. Not this day and age.
Not going to happen.
Tekken 8.
It's either going to be an RPG, an action role-playing game,
or a multiplayer game,
a straight action game, or a multiplayer game. That's it.
I would. Like, I know you said it's probably not going to be for a while, but I'd actually put some money on like at least a tech demo of a Gran Turismo game.
Well, we would have it. I'm beginning rumors of the PlayStation 5.
Like, remember when they did remember when they did was it the PS2 or the PS3 where they had A-Spec come out first?
It was 3.
Yeah, because you had that, and then you had the full game. So A-Spec was sort of like your tech demo.
Well, they did that. They always did a Gran Turismo, some kind of like prototype or A-Spec before. Yeah, I definitely think that we will see some type of Gran Turismo, but
Musashi would be a great idea. Rogue Galaxy 2, ooh, those rematch. They didn't remaster it, but they are selling the original on PSN, so I can't really say that, but. Yeah, though Brave Fist and Musashi, I see that happening, but again, the marketing be hardcore. So a lot of these games are on the hardcore side.
But yeah, they're also very niche.
Yeah, exactly, and I love those games. Yeah,
I think for me, I think it's going to be a solid mixture between here's coming launch day, and here's coming in the future. And I don't know if this is like a hot take or like a crazy opinion, but I can see Gran Turismo coming out launch day. Easy.
Yeah, I could too. Just because of the length between the last Gran Turismo game and the launch window.
Yeah.
Like, when was the last Gran Turismo game brought out?
Sport.
Did we even have one on the PS4?
Sport. Gran Turismo Sport.
Yeah, and how long ago?
What? 3
years?
It's been a long.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. It's been a long
time. Yeah.
3 years.
Yeah, it's to a point that I thought it was Gran Torino. I thought that was because Eastwood made the game. So that's how long it's been.
I'm pretty sure the
Fast and the Furious PlayStation Edition.
I'm pretty sure. What was his name?
Clint Eastwood.
Yamaguchi. I can't remember his name. The designer of Gran Turismo said there won't be a new Gran Turismo for quite some time.
Yeah, but
And-
that's quite some time developer speak. Some time developer speak could be anywhere between 3 to 5 years to 10 years to 20 years.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
The gap between Gran Turismo 3 to GT Sport was ridiculous.
How long was it? Was it double digits?
Let's try something. Let's look up something. GT3 came out in. It was a long ass time. So 3 came out.
Was it double? Yeah, double digits.
2001.
Wow. And Sport
Right?
came out.
2017.
Gran Turismo 4 came out in 2004,
That's
Yeah.
3 years.
and then after that it was GT5 Prologue, which was 2010.
3 years. Okay, that's four. That's four.
So was there anything between that and GT Sport? Because
No.
it's Gran Turismo Sport came out in 2017.
So
right?
you're looking on an average of about 4, maybe 5 years. I reckon there is probably some chance that Rob's prediction will be correct.
So here's the thing. So 5, there wasn't a big delay between 5 and 6. It was like 3 years, but 6 was heavily criticized because it was more of 5.
Yeah, that's because they brought 6 out to compete with Forza.
Right.
Yeah.
And then after 6,
Whereas now they're doing the big hardware leap and they're doing the, here's our big show-offy thing. I still reckon, yeah, Rob's probably good on
Plus,
the money for that one.
and
to
Sport,
me-
Sport came out 2017.
Plus, to me, it only makes sense only because the PS4 launched with Drive Club, or it came out pretty soon after with Drive Club. And that was supposed to be like, the big different racing game. It's not Gran Turismo, it's Drive Club. We're really going to push this game. And, that had a bunch of problems at launch. People just didn't like it and whatever. I think I could see for sure them coming out with Gran Turismo at launch just to, I don't know, kind of, it's not even like reparations for that, but just to kind of bring back the franchise in a big way, I guess.
Now, don't get
But-
me wrong. I'm not saying I don't want to see a Gran Turismo. I am a huge racing game nut. I love my racing games. I don't care about the feud between Gran Turismo and Forza because, well, sorry, Mike. I get great racing games. I don't care. Let
Plus,
them
I also
fight.
just think they're different. They're both
They are.
fundamentally different in a lot of ways.
They are, but
At least in my opinion.
Yeah.
But-
Sport and Forza were
Especially
close.
because I've never seen Gran Turismo have a Lego expansion. It's actually fun.
There's that.
But okay, so you're getting that confused stuff. So that's Horizon.
That's technically, the sub-series Horizon. Yeah. Horizon is cool though. I love Horizon. The first game, amazing.
It's got the Forza brand on it. I count it as a Forza game.
Okay. But
What
Gran
guys,
Gran Turismo is a great game. But getting back to what I want to see, I do want to see if what Blue Point's working on, which is the Demon Souls remaster. I hope that's the case. Or Metal Gear.
Or no, not even Metal Gear.
Go ahead.
Here is the out of left field answer that I want to happen so bad but won't happen. Legend of Dragoon remake.
Yeah,
That's a good idea.
I
I
want
was
that.
thinking,
I want
the company. Who's the guys who made the Gravity Rush series?
Gravity Team.
I don't remember.
Yeah, that's Sony exclusive. I mean, that game has been somewhat successful. It's iconic in a way. Maybe
Yeah.
Gravity Rush 3.
It's the Gravity Team. But
Oh yeah. Okay.
I've got one for you.
go ahead.
Crash Bandicoot 4.
That would be. They technically
accurate.
there was a 4 by other people.
Like, even though it is developed by a third party, Naughty Dog are still part of Sony.
Yeah.
So it is possible.
Keep
Either
in
that,
mind-
or put all your eggs in the big basket and go for another Uncharted.
Keep in mind these are first party games, so they won't be from other companies.
Well, that's the thing. It's like there's so many sub companies and everything else when it comes to these big companies. Microsoft and Sony these days. They have so many other sub companies under their belt.
they have a lot.
It
They
is very, very hard to say what exactly is a pure Sony or Microsoft first party title.
Well, it's anything that's not from an Activision or a Bungie or
Yeah, but-
Konami or a Capcom.
Yeah, but at the same time, do you count stuff that's done by Rare as a Microsoft one, or
Yes,
is it still
Microsoft
Rare?
owns Rare.
Okay, so in the case of Naughty Dog being owned by Sony, it can still be considered a Sony first party title,
Right, which is why
Which means again, your Uncharted series is a possibility.
Yeah, I wouldn't shoot that down.
Yeah.
If you say a game that's from a third party,
The-
I'll say no.
But I think Crash Bandicoot would be a very left field one because I think that's Activision now.
Correct. Activision owns it now.
Okay.
So
I also want to point out, I don't see anything that says that is specifically first party at this event.
they sent out a blast that said it's first party games.
I think I've still got that.
Okay.
I think I've still got that email.
Vagrant Story is made by. Let me check.
I
I think I got his
I
name.
don't think you're gonna get a big RPG title as a launch title. The last time they tried to do that was with Final Fantasy X, and even then that wasn't until about 6 or 8 months past the system release.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't like. Yeah, it's part of me is like, I would like some of these games to be remastered. I would like them to be reprinted and put in modern context, but I don't think they'll be used as launches because they're very. Yeah, as Carl pointed out, they're very niche.
Yeah.
Like,
I think.
Yeah.
But that's it. But that's also the other thing too. It's. Oh, so much.
Plus, also,
Yeah,
just
see,
to back up
see,
to
no,
what-
nothing,
but-
nothing in the emails that I've got from Sony says first party only.
Right, but here's
They're,
the thing.
they're just saying reveal event.
Right, here's the thing with that. So Sony is. So we got to go back a little bit. A couple months ago, either fast forward to a couple days ago, where Sony came out and said, "You're not going to see any of our PlayStation 4 games on our PlayStation 5. Our PlayStation 5 is going to have exclusive games." So you got to think about that. If the game's coming out on the PlayStation 4, it's not going to be on PlayStation 5. They're not going to want to talk about third-party games. They're going to talk about stuff that's going to make you run and buy the system.
Well, yes and no. I think that we might actually get something that might be sort of a cross between the two. I'm sure that they'll probably show some more things like Assassin's Creed Valhalla and stuff like that.
Right.
They're gonna want to show you what is going to sell you to buy the console. It doesn't
Right.
matter whether it's first or third party.
Right, but
First
going back
or
to that,
third.
why would I want to look at Assassin's Creed Valhalla if I already have a PlayStation?
Because it might
4
look
Pro?
because it might look prettier with the extra HDMI cable.
Yes, but also something they could try something new.
PS5 is confirmed to run only on 2 HDMI inputs. You have to have both plugged in, or it doesn't run.
Introducing HDMI 3.0 or something.
Yeah.
Seriously though,
Like,
but seriously, if there's
I-
one game that you want to see on the PlayStation 5,
Actually, I have an idea about this. Like, maybe Sony might actually just change not in game at all. They might actually do something. Might have a service they want to, or they change how. Oh yeah, or change like how PlayStation Plus works. Maybe they say that PlayStation Plus is.
that's funny. That's funny.
Oh, you
I
funny.
Like that.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that. I
You're
like
funny.
that.
Go on tour with that joke.
If we're not even going to see the console at this, we're definitely not going to hear anything about change about the PS.
Okay, so stop.
Exactly.
Stop,
Here-
stop for a
here's-
second. Stop a second. Before you say that, I went into the console, and I want a damn price. June. We're June. We're halfway there. People need to know how much this thing costs now, and this would be the perfect chance
I
for them
reckon-
to blow Microsoft out the water.
See,
Not that
I would be happy, and this is what I've said so many times about how Sony should do their thing. Give us that sizzle reel. Give us that mix of first and third party games that are going to sell your system. Right at the end, do a quick 10-minute presentation going and introducing
Mark
the
Cerny.
PlayStation. Introducing Mark Cerny, and he walks out and he goes, "Oh, look what's under this sheet. It's the PlayStation 5. Have a look. Have a look. It's pretty, isn't it? It's pretty. It's
It's
pretty.
the HDMI cable. Hey, look at
It is pretty, and it's $4.99. Go buy.
Gamers nerds, as much as I would see PlayStation Now, or upgraded PlayStation Now, I don't have much confidence in a company that took a year to give us the ability to change their names on PlayStation and still did it wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a weird wild card for that, because for me it's 75%. They're not going to change much about how the ecosystem works and a lot of their subscriptions.
Oh,
There's
God.
always that little tiny bit of me that's like, maybe they just decided to revamp everything. Because
Right. I have the same brain
But
setup
that'd be
too.
nice.
Yeah, it's like maybe
It would be nice.
maybe because they want to. Because like, right now, and to be honest with you, after using Windows Store for 10 minutes to play PlayStation Star Online 2, which was a botch. And I was like, oh, look at all these games on Game Pass. I might give the money for Game Pass for these games, but I have Steam. So, but no, seriously, it's like that is a very compelling thing. Looking at the Game Pass, and seeing it how it works. So it's like maybe Sony's aware of this and may change their model because this is the future of software gaming.
If Sony turns around and says, "Look, we're going to drop PlayStation now, and we're going to do our own version of Game Pass," all of a sudden that subscription that I give them every year is actually going to be fucking worth something.
Wait, did you say PlayStation Network or PlayStation Now?
PlayStation Network, PSN.
PSN, the free games that they give every month type thing. If they want to keep that, that's fine. Okay. Or if they want to turn around and scrap their PlayStation Now service and turn it into something that's along the lines of Game Pass, then I would be happy, because they do need a revamp of that particular business model.
Yes,
because the two games every month that they're getting, that they're giving
out
so
bottom. It's like some months.
It is such bargain bin junk that it's not even worth.
I know it's a polarity. Like some months will get like.
What do we got coming up? What do we got coming up this month? It's what Call of Duty.
Are we getting Battlefront 2? I think.
Okay, but wait.
And Star Wars Battlefront 2. Nobody ever bought.
Okay, wait a second. So.
And everybody already owns Call of Duty. It comes standard with every gamer pack.
But see, here's the thing with PlayStation Network that people need to understand, and I see people say this all the time, and I want to say this: the games that we get from PlayStation Network for being a member, it's just an added bonus. That is nothing more. They're not free games. They don't care if you already own them or not. It's, hey, you're subscribing to our service. Here's some games. Thanks. Bye. They already told you guys they don't care about you when they got rid of the Vita games, and they put nothing to replace those.
Well, not even they got rid of the Vita and the PS3 games.
And they were like, oh, so you lost 3 games. Guess what? Haha, we don't care.
Which I was really disappointed with, because at the time.
Well, you know what? So there, look, see, I got one too.
I know, and that's the thing. Yeah, and that's the thing that makes me like a little big thing with Sony, because I think that their model of
your one looks different.
You killed my boy, my young boy.
Hey, look at this.
But
matter like this. Look at this.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Give me.
Oh, wait.
But all seriousness,
is that an N64 cartridge?
Yeah.
No, this is the Sega Saturn 4 meg cartridge to play the fighting game, like X vs Street Fighter.
Yeah, yeah.
I heard Saturn, and immediately my mind just went, and it just melted.
The mini boy.
But seriously.
Wait.
Throw that thing in the trash.
No, but this is getting to be on trash.
No, mine has that in it. Which
look at that hard drive.
Why are we doing this? You know what, guys? You know what? CD starts it.
Oh, here he is.
You don't know what this is.
Let's just put it in your pocket.
Retro garbage.
Hey, Keith.
Retro.
I got one of them too.
Yeah. No, but back on topic. It's like I think Sony's aware, or at least everyone is. It's very, like the PlayStation Plus is a very archaic method. The discounts sometimes don't kind of matter. I mean, they've been doing a lot more sales in the last couple of years.
They don't matter at all.
It doesn't matter as much,
unless they do a double deals month where they're already discounted.
Oh, that's gold. That's only during Golden. Yeah, it's only during Golden Week in Japan.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, I think they got double deals going at the moment, and that's the only time I find that it's worth actually buying stuff because of the discount that I pay for.
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you guys this then. Do you think, going back to what Gamer Nerd said, do you think they might change PlayStation Now? Because PlayStation Now was a bad service. It's gotten better. It's still nowhere near Game Pass.
Maybe they'll just bundle. Like I think we discussed it couple podcasts ago. They'll just bundle it with PlayStation Plus and just make it free, because people already the amount of money they get for PlayStation Plus. I think the price went up. It used to be $50 a year. Now it's $60 a year.
It was a lot. Yeah, I think I'm on the position. They have 2 options. They either revamp it and create a Game Pass for PlayStation, or they just bundle it in with your PlayStation Plus. Because at this point, as it exists right now, it would make sense bringing it over to the PS5 the way it is now. Because it's too much more money.
Make it available fucking worldwide.
No, you know
and
what?
that like
I am still waiting for PlayStation Now to show up on my fucking
That
thing.
is an interesting point. Rob.
Almost 10 years
So-
fucking after they created it.
10 years.
Remember, they did say PlayStation 5 is only going to have support for a couple hundred PlayStation 4 games.
almost all of them,
Yeah,
pretty
so,
much.
So they could be using
So keep your
PlayStation now.
PS4s, people.
They could be using PlayStation Now. That's the possibility. They haven't really said much. Hopefully, we'll find out more.
I
this
think
week.
it could roll over. I just think the subscription model would need to change significantly. They
And
could
also-
easily roll over people's subscriptions, and technically how it works
they
right
did-
now.
They did that with 3 to 4.
Yeah.
When they went for the PlayStation 3 to the PlayStation 4, it was the same subscription works on the same system.
Yeah.
But it's not so much the actual system itself that needs to change; it's the content that you're getting for the price. That
And
needs
the
to change.
game
Yes.
retention.
The model.
Yeah, and the game
Exactly.
retention.
Yeah, the subscription model has to change
Like-
because at this point, it's just too much money compared to
I'm-
Game Pass.
I'm
Like they're just not
currently-
gonna get subscribers.
I'm currently paying 16 Australian dollars per month
You're crazy.
for Xbox Live and Game Pass, and for that $16 a month, which is like something around about $10 American.
Carl, why don't you? I don't know if you do or don't. We never talked about it. So why don't you ever like around shopping holiday just buy those super cheap yearly PlayStation Now or Xbox?
I do when I can. I just always don't have the money for it.
Sure enough. You should
so,
ask
yeah.
me, and I will give you a year for Christmas. That would be my gift to you.
Okay.
That's what
Wow.
I do because I don't.
No, that's like, yeah,
The
same
But
here.
amount
that's
of
it,
time-
but that's
yeah.
but that's also the other thing is I don't know if you can do a bundle package for the Game Pass with the gold, or whether it's a
Yeah,
monthly
you can.
thing
They
only.
have a bundled Game Pass
'Cause-
and Gold. I don't know
'cause
for
I-
Australia. But
Because Keith and I have worked out this little trick when they first announced it, that we were able to get like nearly a year's worth of Xbox Game Pass for paying $1, which was great.
Oh, they changed
Yeah.
that. They changed that. Oh, what the gamer was saying? PlayStation.
That was when
Plus
it was on
Ultimate.
PC.
That would be
But-
actually decent.
But it's like I'm actually getting more value for my $16 a month with Xbox Game Pass because I have access to not only the games with gold that they bring out every month, which is 4 games a month, but I also get access to the to the Xbox Game Pass library,
Yes.
which is a rotation of 100 games per month.
And can I tell you, as a father, how good
And
that is?
it also includes all first party titles.
Yep.
Yes,
so when
It,
they- so when they come out-
it doesn't
Yep.
matter whether they're years old or the day that they come out. If it's a first party title, it goes straight on the Game Pass and it stays there.
stays
Yep.
there, and that's the biggest flaw of PlayStation now. Like they put Spider-Man on, and it says right here, once July 7th comes, it's going away.
It's off. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why would you
Yeah.
do that?
God of War
That's-
came off
Wait,
only
wait.
after like a month. It
That's
was
the biggest-
not long enough.
Whereas opposed to Xbox Game Pass, where it's like, okay, our next big release, or quote
Yeah.
unquote big release, was Minecraft Dungeons. Hi, we're going to put that straight onto the Game Pass store, and it's going to stay there forever.
And I
because it's a
appreciated that
first-party
because
title.
I wasn't paying for it.
Yeah, same.
I wasn't paying for that.
Yeah.
So
As soon as
glad.
they announced it for PC, the beta, which was $1, and it has been $1 up until it was like January or February, I think.
It's the first test. It's the first taste, and then you'll pay the rest.
Yeah. I mean, it's
I
it's
love
only
that.
like $5. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm on PC. I get to play whatever I want from Game Pass whenever I feel like
Yeah.
it. It's how I
But-
play the Master
but-
Chief
but-
Collection. I didn't have to spend $60 to play that.
But
now, yeah?
even sometimes, third-party titles are getting put up there on day one. Streets of Rage 4, it came out, and day one, it was on Xbox Game Pass. I was going, do I or don't I? And then I saw it on Game Pass. I'm like, hey, I'll grab that, no problem. And then Keith sent me a code for PC.
I gave me like a
Because
bazillion
he still
codes.
has like 4,000
They
codes
gave me a
to go.
bazillion codes. I was like, what am I supposed to do with these codes? I don't know.
But
Okay.
that's
You're
the
supposed
thing,
to
like-
run contests, Keith. Contests.
But this is the thing. Like, I would be happy if, for again, talking Australian pricing, my Australian PlayStation subscription is $80 a year unless I get it at the right time, in which case it's about 50 to 60.
That's a valid point, gamers. That's a valid point. He said
So,
PlayStation takes
it-
back their stuff because they know we'll keep buying it. Their IP's holding
Yeah,
it.
that's exactly it.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah,
know,
that's goodwill.
if
That just-
they, if Sony brings up and actually either includes in the overall pricing, or even if they increase it by like say $10 a month, $10 a year or something like that, to include something like Xbox Game Pass in their PlayStation Network subscription service, I would happily keep going, because I literally every time my Sony one comes up, I'm like, do I really need this anymore?
You know what?
And the problem is, the only reason why I keep it is because I have had it since I was on the PS3, and I have that many games that have been sitting there in my library, that I've gotten every month. I've grabbed them every month that they've come out, whether I own them or not. The fact that I have all those games available and sitting in my library for me to play at any time, I then go, do I want to lose all that work and all that money that I've put into it already?
There's also the fact is that I think you know this as well. You guys know, if you pay PlayStation Plus and you don't pay for like when the subscription runs out and you don't renew, all games that are PlayStation Plus download are not actually saved to your hard drive. So that's the thing too. But gamers, you are exactly correct.
I think you still have access to the license of it though. So if you do re-up it once you come back,
when you re-up it, you can play it again.
Yeah.
But if you don't, it's
If you cancel it, you can't play it again.
If you're not paying, you're not playing.
Yeah.
And that's where I run into the problem, is because I like to use it for like all the PS3 games that I got over the years, and some of the PS4s, some of the other PS4 stuff that I haven't been able to get, or I just can't find in the shops anymore. I use the PS Plus versions that I've got, and it's like, if I stop paying for it, well, then I don't have access to those games anymore.
Right.
Which means I then have to go out and track them down on the second-hand market or something like that. And again, it's I just think Sony really needs to look at becoming more consumer-friendly with them.
I agree.
I think they realize this, because Jim Ryan did say they would be paying more attention to the community, and maybe he's not being 100% truthful. I mean, this is a guy who was like, come on. This is a guy who said people don't care about retro gaming, and then came back, people like to play their back catalog. Dude, you just totally said that. Okay. But they did say they're paying attention to the community.
On the one hand, PS4 games are going to be playable, but not all of the PS4 games are going to be playable. So it's kind of like they're putting in an effort, but is it the effort we want?
Edward, exactly.
Yes. Hang on, guys. Yes, Edward, the podcast is being streamed on YouTube right now. It will be uploaded on YouTube once it's done. So yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's just me though, because it's kind of like they're reactionary, putting up effort to respond to that and say that we want to give you goodwill, but it's not like preemptive.
But then
they're pretty good about it, but
it's like you've said the PS4 games, but we're not getting all of them. Have a look at what Microsoft just turned around and said.
Well, that's the thing right there. That's the magic bullet, and that's
the thing. I'm slowly getting convinced I'm probably going to get a Series X on launch over a PS5 for the first time since the launch of the PlayStation. I'm actually looking at getting an Xbox console first because
I'm getting both. I have to.
Yeah.
Well, I will get both eventually, but like on launch, I always get one or the other. Usually, it's been the PlayStation. This time, I'm leaning heavily towards getting the Xbox, only because I'm finding more worth and value out of the Xbox than I am out of anything the Sony stuff.
Well, here's the thing,
and unless Sony want to wow me in the next couple of weeks.
Well, next couple of days, and that's my thing. Now that we talk about this whole PlayStation Now, if they did revamp PlayStation Now and they did make it the Game Pass equivalent, then that would be great. And they should do that. Yeah. They should totally do that.
Yeah, I agree. That's something they should do.
It solves two problems. It gives them added value. Well, three problems. It gives, one's not really a problem, but it gets more people involved in that particular service. And then they can look at that and go, you know what? This works for us. How can we expand on it? And three, it also solves their backwards compatibility issues, if that's what they're planning on working on.
I agree. And I think it's very much like, because think about what they're doing right now, as of right now. We don't know much about the PS5, but think about all the PS4 games that are coming to PC soon. Death Stranding, Horizon Zero Dawn, all coming to PC. PC is a market that would typically just, if they wanted to play a PlayStation game, they'd buy a PlayStation,
Right.
Think about what they're trying to do now. They're bringing more PlayStation exclusives, former PlayStation exclusives to PC. and now convincing people that, hey, okay, I like this game. What if I want to play, say, Bloodborne comes to PC? What if I want to play Bloodborne 2 because I like the first game a lot?
Right.
I might want to buy a PlayStation if it's still going to be a timed exclusive, and I have to wait 4 years for the sequel that I want to play right now, and I know it's out, theoretically. They might buy a PlayStation, and then it turns into this thing where...
Yeah, and that's the strength of their IPs and goodwill. Like that's why Microsoft has changed their strategy to be more of a software service company, in my opinion. Yeah, Master Race always, boy. But that's the way it is. Yeah,
we don't use that word anymore.
I'm sorry.
Superior
elite. Yeah.
I guess
Give me a second. I wanted to answer Edward's his statement. I understand that PlayStation exclusive games may be better than Xbox games. And the reason why I say maybe because it depends on what you like.
Fighting games, yes.
There. Stop it. It depends. It really depends on what you like. That's not to say Xbox doesn't have any games, and that's not the case. They have some good games, but the thing is, if you look at catalog, yes, PlayStation kills them on catalogs. But you might be a fan who loves Forza. You might be somebody who loves Halo. You might love Sea of Thieves. I hate that fucking game so much. But you get what I'm coming from. There are some people who simply do prefer a certain game. Yes, they both have good games. It just depends on what you like. But to answer your second thing, it's not about previous, but the future. I agree. And this is why Sony has gone on and said that our first-party games for PlayStation 5 are strictly PlayStation 5. They will not be on PlayStation 4. The last games that we're getting from PlayStation, The Last of Us Part 2 and Ghost of Tsushima, those are likely going to be the last first-party games we see on PlayStation 4.
Yeah. When the old console out.
Sure.
And also to that point, PS4 games are backwards compatible with PS5. So a lot of these games that you'll be having, like even Cyberpunk, for example, if you buy it on your PS4 because you want to play it on September 17th, and then the next console comes out in November, you at least don't have to regret your decision and think, oh, I should have waited for the PS5 version. No, you'll still be able to play it. They're gonna create a version for the PS5 as well, but it's still gonna be compatible. So there's still that good faith there too, where they at least
Here's the thing: you're saying it's compatible, but are you going to have to pay for that compatibility?
That's the question.
Like, are we getting another Grand Theft Auto 5 situation where it came out on PS3 first and then eventually it came out on PS4?
Well,
but you had to rebuy the game.
If you're on Xbox, you get.
If you're on Xbox, no, you don't.
They're smart delivery, right? Yeah.
So we have to wait and see what happens with Sony. All right, so me answer some of the comments. Sorry, so we'll call you Grizz from now on. We're gonna call you Grizz from now on. As far as PlayStation or PlayStation VR, Edward, don't make me. You know what? I'm going to answer that next, too. As far as PlayStation VR, they already said they're going to work on the next iteration of PlayStation VR, but for PlayStation 2. As far as PlayStation VR being carried over to the PlayStation, I believe they shot that PlayStation 5. They already shot that down and said, no, there's going to be a new PlayStation VR that takes advantage of the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5. Keep saying 4. So we won't see the existing PlayStation VR on PlayStation 5. It'll be a brand new one. As far as
it'll be a new version of the hardware, but I think what they're asking is the software going to be compatible?
We won't know. We don't know backwards compatibility.
I think that falls into those few PS4 games that might not necessarily be compatible.
Yeah.
And it only makes sense.
As well as my experience with VR, if my experience with VR games, so it's a bunch of VR lounges in New York and talk to VR developers. VR seems very niche and very what it is. I haven't seen the baits very successful, like mainstream or at least enough money to be a AAA hit. I would say so.
What?
I don't think VR is going to transition well.
But you mean you haven't seen the sales figures for Resident Evil 7 or Beat Saber?
Wait, we're not.
I've seen them. I'm talking about
we're not going to go into VR because there's so many different metrics and things we can talk about. VR,
exactly. The core, the core, exactly. The chords of the VR, exactly.
VR is doing very well right now. It depends on what platform you're talking about.
One of these days, I hope we are going to get wireless VR headsets because
you mean the Oculus Quest, which is doing very well.
Yeah, have you got the couple of $1,000 to pay for it?
Well, they closed thousands down because you can't get a hold of it. So but,
exactly.
But so
hey, I can't even get a hold of an Xbox controller right now, man. So.
I got you,
any
buddy.
of those controllers over there?
I got you.
Yeah,
I got
I'll put, yeah, along with the hard drive and the capture card you promised.
Well, I can't give you a capture card.
I need the capture card.
But why
no.
was Rise hated so much? It was a great game. It just did not show off the power of the Xbox.
Rise,
People-
Son of Rome?
Yeah.
Is that what we're talking about? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
People wanted more. It's
What was
no
the-
different. It's no different than what was the PlayStation 4 game?
What was this?
The Order.
Don't-
The Order.
it's-
The Order.
Yeah.
They're the same thing. They're the same
Why
thing.
are the words Dragon's Dogma coming up in my head for some reason?
The what? The
Well,
what?
Dragon's
I'm
Dogma.
thinking, are you thinking of Scalebound?
I have no idea.
Dragon Dogma is
Because
All
I
I
hear
remember
Dragon
is
and
it-
Xbox, and I think Scalebound, and then I
No,
shed a tear.
I think it was a PlayStation or something. I think it might have been a Capcom title.
Dragon's Dogma?
Dragon Dogma is
they had
Capcom, yeah.
deep down.
Yeah. Where they had the knight and he was going up to fight the dragon. We never actually saw a video game.
Deep down. Deep down. It's deep down.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't exist anymore. Edward, opinion on Stadia as a competitor. What Stadia?
It is as competitive as this handkerchief.
Stadia is dead. I'm sorry. I had access to the Stadia. I
It's
reviewed
about
it.
as
I
good-
was like,
it's about as good as
yeah.
these stack of cards.
Google,
It's got a trick for you.
Google has no idea what they're doing with the Stadia. They've had their own development studio and haven't put out anything. They're giving us games that are already available for Xbox, PlayStation, PC, and their inferior versions. They haven't delivered on their promises. Stadia is dead.
It's a great meme if
Yeah.
you watch, Mary Freddie's, webcomics on YouTube or whatever.
There
but in my
is-
opinion,
but speaking of the Stadia, though, and sort of swing it around to like the PS5, are we going to see a discless PS5?
Why would you want to? No, never.
because no, that's what they're
yet.
gonna show. They're gonna show the blank disc called PS5. That's gonna be the big reveal.
You would never want a discless console just because people still use those for Blu-ray. Blu-ray is not going anywhere. It's not
No.
going anywhere.
If anything, Blu-ray is actually evolving. I've heard because originally the Blu-ray layer was 25 gig to 50 gig. 50 gig being the dual layer. I have heard that they've been able to refine it now to the point where you have 50 gig to 100 gig discs.
But you still can't hold one game on it.
You could, or you
Not
could
anymore.
almost, and with 100 gig, you could almost hold Red Dead
Almost.
Redemption 2.
Blu-ray.
You could hold half of a Modern Warfare on there.
Almost. We're getting there, baby. We're gonna.
Wait,
No.
But wait. Let's get back to it.
Physical media is finally trying to catch up with digital media.
But hang
If-
on. Hang on. Yeah. As far as Stadia is concerned, Stadia.
Yes,
Again,
Stadia
after
is.
everything we've already said, it's not really competitive.
I think there is
Stadia is just an empty bowl of cereal.
I
right now,
will
so-
be very impressed, and there's a 2% chance of this. That's being optimistic. There's a 2% chance of this happening where they just No Man's Sky an entire service, and I don't think that's going to happen. I really
No.
do. They could maybe,
No.
but
No.
no.
On top
And
of
the
that,
thing to me is that
Oh, wait,
Stadia, like Stadia as an idea and concept,
it's a
can
great
make
idea.
sense.
It's
Yeah,
a
it's a
great
great-
idea. I love it.
But it's just executed like
You would think, well, then again, Google is known to be like, hey, we're going to do this, and they completely fumble the ball. They've done this on many occasions. The downside to this is when they do this and they completely see, hey, this is not working out, they axe the service. People have been saying they're going to do this Stadia for a while now. It may
Google does
just
that
happen.
all the time. All the time.
And you'll
They
have
put out
hardware
a product that
that's
nobody
useless.
uses or people don't like. They just, it's gone.
At the same time, Project X Cloud takes everything on Game Pass. You can stream your Xbox to it. It kills Stadia.
Okay, Keith, can I ask a question?
You just ask the question.
Well, besides that particular question, can I ask a second?
Got him.
You just ask the second
The
question.
6th and 7th, the 8th and 9th and 10th.
Yes, I know the mic. Ask you a question, Dad. You just did. Go ahead.
When was the last time anybody checked to see if an Ouya was still alive?
Oh yeah, it's not. It's
What
not.
is that?
I still
Yeah.
follow. I still follow it. No, they killed that years ago.
Servers are well and truly dead and everything else.
That shit's dead. Between the lack of games, the shovelware, the games that were ported from Android over to it, anybody who thinks Android is a viable gaming platform just needs to be put out the pasture.
It's
Sorry.
only a viable gaming platform if you are a mobile phone gamer.
Yeah,
It's
only
not
if you
even
have
that.
one of these.
It's, yeah.
Well, actually, no. Well, to be honest, as well, you're also trying to run BlueStacks, but that's if you want to cheat with a mouse and keyboard on a mobile game.
Anywho, let's try and wrap this up because we want to touch on Mortal Kombat real quick and then get out of here because we're almost at. Oh God.
Do we want to do final predictions from everyone?
We're
Yes.
at an hour and a half almost.
So I guess we're not getting freaking Mortal Kombat. God.
Oh man, I'll say that next time.
We'll do Mortal Kombat and then we'll call it an evening. How about that?
But okay, so Rob, you said final predictions. I
Yeah.
think we're going to see at least 3 new IPs. I do think we're going to get the price for the PlayStation 5. I don't think we're going to see it. And I think Blue Point's going to come out and say, yes, this is the game you've been waiting on, and it's not Demon Souls.
Legend of Dragoon, baby, it's gonna happen. No, I'm just kidding.
That's a
I
dream.
wanted to.
That's a
I
dream.
wanted
If
to.
Austin
but
was
no.
here, he would say Ape Escape, and I would say no, Austin, that's not happening.
Or Jack and Daxter 4.
Jack. Well, we technically did have a 4th game, but that's a racing game. But whatever.
It's a spin-off, okay.
Diddy
I like
Kong
Jack
Racing.
X Combat Racing.
Yeah, I
Combat
know,
Racing
he's
is mad good, dude. It was a great game.
PlayStation All Stars Racing.
Oh no. JoJo Bizarre Adventure Part 7, the fighting game. Let me see. Honestly, predictions. I'm predicting a good sizzle reel. Lots of good media head talking. A lot of them hugging each other, admitting we're the best. That disc, a box that says PS5, a teaser, and just a console. But I'm not expecting them to announce a price. I think they're going to be very defensive. They probably give us a nice sizzle reel, a couple of games they won't announce to just get the buzz. Like, what is this game? Oh, ooh, ha, ha, ooh. You know, just get that out to them.
If they come out and they put a box with just the PlayStation 5 logo, I'm going to lose my shit and be so mad. PlayStation 5.
I would be so proud of them. I'd be like, they listened to the podcast finally.
Oh God.
My prediction would be again, sizzle reel, a couple of like really good IPs, maybe even throw in a mix of third and first party. Turn around and go, okay, we're going to do a quick live introduction. Ta-da, PS5, but you only see the sheet come up, you don't actually see the console. And they go $4.99, go buy it now.
They just
Hey.
printed
No,
it on
no.
a blanket and just hold it up. They don't even.
Hey,
No. Okay,
Could you imagine?
Console, but okay.
Okay, let me tell you a quick story. The first ever, I think it was the first PAX that I went to, was when the Xbox One had just been announced. And I remember walking past the Xbox booth. There was literally this booth set up in a corner, and it had a display case in it that said, the Xbox One, you can see it here. And it was an empty case.
Oh my God! You
was
know,
so
oh God, you know the
fine.
strat. They're gonna do it. They're gonna do it.
so
You know the
like
strat.
to see the idea of Sony turning around and going like, okay, and here's the Xbox 5, and they just pull up this sheet off like halfway off screen, so like what I'm doing now, and it's like, yeah, it's here. Just move the camera down, and then the feed cuts.
Could you imagine they pull it up and there's nothing under it, and they just Fortnite dance, and that's the end of the video?
No. They pull it up, and it's a power cord and a HDMI cable.
Oh God.
They've got it under a sheet, but they yank the sheet out, and the stream dies right as they do that. They don't even finish the cut.
What do you think?
That would be so beautiful. That would be art.
I think so. Predictions for me are: I think we're gonna get like as close as we can to half first party, half third party. I think we're gonna very much start with games that are coming as soon as possible. We're gonna get a bunch of these games that are coming like right away. We'll probably end with one too, and then stuff in the middle will be like your teases for Spider-Man 2, your teases for maybe God of War 2 6.
Tease for a new IP, but they don't know what to call it yet.
Yeah, you might even get like, I don't know, Final Fantasy 16. You get some teases in there, but stuff that's like far along. I think we'll get like a solid halvesies between both. I don't think we're gonna see the price. Period. We may not even see the console. I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't. I think this is just going to be strictly no business talk, no people in suits heading up to the podium. It's just going to be like, here are games that we have. These are the games. Get ready for these games. And then they say at the end of their press conference, like, okay, we got something more for the actual system later on.
I wouldn't mind saying Godfall since we know that game is coming.
Yeah, I think that would absolutely be there. There's no chance it's not. You know, they've announced that game way early. They have to have something.
See the actual reveal at E3 2021.
Yeah.
Oh God.
All actual gameplay demos
don't-
demos are canceled until 2021. No games coming out for the rest of the year. That's it.
Yeah, that's the way.
Got 'em. That's what
I
they always do.
don't think we're gonna do the Mortal Kombat guys. I'm sorry. we're
You don't want to hear my rants of how balanced the game's at the aftermath of the armor break? I have data.
no.
Data.
Sorry,
Next
we're
week. Next
going,
week.
We're
Next
going
week,
way
yeah.
overboard. I think we're the only.
I
ones
will
who
shed
play-
the tear for you though.
Thanks.
You got
Spent
it.
20 hours playing Shiva. I need to do two unblockable for God's
Wait,
sakes.
wait till next week, and I'll actually be able to put into that conversation as well.
Oh god.
Oh,
But,
great.
yeah. Okay. So as everybody, thank you for listening to this very riveting episode of the Spectator Mode Podcast. The first 30 minutes are very heartfelt. We actually are very serious about this issue in the States. If you haven't seen it and you just tuned in, please check that out. I swear that it's probably the realest you've ever heard us on this podcast. So definitely check that out. And we don't hate each other. We love each other. We're just all very passionate about what we say.
Passion.
So it happens. It happens. But at the end of the day, Carl is Carl, Rob is Rob, Matt is Matt, and I'm Keith. We're still here, and we're just gonna keep giving you the gaming news and maybe, unfortunately, some world news as well, because we live in this fucked up world.
Yeah.
Black
Black Lives Matter.
Everybody lives matter, guys. Everybody's lives matter.
I don't know.
Except for President Cheeto, I don't care about it.
I'll say Google Stadia Live Matter. I think it's dead. That's just buried.
Yeah,
Buried
yeah.
Google Stadia. That life is gone. Just leave it in the ground.
Wait.
Can't.
Let me. Wasn't the Google Stadia? They had these. They were doing a presentation and they were like the past gaming and then the history of gaming and
Yeah.
They had, and then I think
They were the future.
And
They
now
were the
we can-
future.
Now we can put Stadia next to Ouya. They died.
Yeah.
There you go.
It all comes all full circle, baby. They predicted their own death. They were smart.
Alas.
That's meta.
Anyway, thank
Alas.
you for watching this podcast. As always, you can find us on
Yep.
Spotify, Audio Boom, Apple iTunes, or Apple Podcasts, or change
Apple
it, whatever. Google Podcasts, pretty much anywhere gaming podcasts or all good podcasts are. You can find us, and you can also catch the stream out on YouTube. It will be posted up there as soon as this stream ends. So if you're watching on Twitch, please come over and check it out. And we do like answering your questions. As you've noticed, we will answer your questions. We like when you guys participate in our conversations. We love it. All right?
Yep.
We want you guys to come back often. We record every Saturday, except we don't record on Saturday. We do it on Sunday. We will let you know when that happens. All right.
And as always, you can always, if you're looking at more opinions, reviews, or any other type of articles, jump over to the Outerhaven.net, where we all, most of us at least anyway, will put up articles about the things that we like, love, hate, and everything else. And yeah, if you like hearing us, you might like reading us.
Yeah, I like that. If you like hearing us, you might like reading. I like that. I'm still in it now. All right, guys, we are getting out of here. So thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you next week. I'm stealing from everybody. Screw that.
Copyright infringement.